Greetings, Alhamdulillah. We are grateful to God because with His grace and permission, we can gather here to make the Virtual Talent Talk Better 2023, Vattle 2023 Series 4. Let me just give a little bit introductions for our topic today. In December 2019, in Wuhan, Hubei, China, experienced an outbreak of a mysterious phenomena characterized by fever, dry cough, and fatigue symptoms. On the 12th January 2020, the World Health Organization WHO named the disease as Coronavirus Disease 2019, which means COVID-19. The number of positive cases in Malaysia increased beyond 553 cases on the 16th March 2020, and the Prime Minister of Malaysia announced a Movement Control Order MCO to control the spread of the COVID-19 nationwide. Due to the movement control orders, employers have realized the necessity of virtual recruiting. Hiring managers are able to find the best candidates by employing technology, which also lessens the administrative strain. Additionally, virtual recruitment helps to save costs, minimize the hassle, and reduce paperwork. With this approach, job seekers can find openings without having to knock on each company's door one after another. Candidates can readily find open positions on the corporate website or the website of a recruiting firm, as well as a social media platform such as Facebook, Instagram, and other platforms, as the majority of people now spend more time browsing the internet on their phones. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the next agenda, let's first get acquainted with our panel line, which is beautiful and full of joy, even if it's only visible on the screen. Friends, without wasting any more time, I open the Vattle session with a sharing or discussion about challenges of recruiting during COVID-19 pandemic. Let us start with our first panel is Nadia Khatijah from HR practitioner from medical supplies industry to introduce herself and can continually by giving a discussion on challenge of the topic.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good evening to all. Thank you to moderator, Ms. Afika Aiman, for giving me an opportunity to discuss on the topic recruiting during pandemic COVID-19. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am Nadia Khadijah binti Aminuddin, HR practitioner from medical supplies industry. So in my opinion, virtual recruitment and selection would create various issues in recruiting and selection, such as first, missing non-verbal cues. As we know, during face-to-face interview session, we are able to see the candidate's body language, clothing, and also expression. These non-verbal questions assist the candidate in gaining insight into a person's personality and potential as an employee. According to 1967 Mehrabian and Ferris research, body language accounts for 55% of all touch, tone of voice accounts for 38%, and actual words account for 7% only. This may cause interviewers to have lack confidence in the candidates, as the interviewers cannot see and evaluate the candidate's skill if the interview conducted online. Also, my second opinion on this issue is information and data privacy. As we all know, for visual recruitment, usually applicants will provide their resumes or other relevant information while applying for vacancies that usually containing phone numbers, mailing address, and other personal information that is supposed to be private, but it is required for recruitment. Most of the time, hiring managers in companies also collaborate with recruitment companies, and the information will be passed around. So this information and data privacy is not so privacy anymore during this visual recruitment. My last opinion on this issue is internet problems. On several occasions, either the candidates or employers may experience heavy connectivity issues, resulting in disruption, lagging, or even worse, maybe call dropouts. Disruptions can lead to negative candidate hiring experience for both parties. They also can result the lost good potential employee because the talent acquisition recruiter was unable to hear the answer clearly or become irritated by the unstable connectivity. So that's all my opinion on this issue. Thank you. I will pass back to moderator, Ms. Afika Aiman.
Thank you, Nadia, for the explanation related to the topic. We move on to the next panel. This is addressed to Natasha, who's in the HR retail industry. Mind to introduce yourself a little bit and continue to give suggestion about the disadvantages?
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Natasha and I work in HR retail industry. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the moderator, Miss Afika, for inviting me to this program. From the issue that Miss Nadia just said now, I want to add another three issues that I found. The first issue is that I found is AI recruitment. The fact that AI is not magic should be emphasized. It is computer software that depends on information created by a programmer to complete tasks effectively. There are worries that AI could eventually learn to make biased decisions as humans do. Huge amount of data are primary requirement for AI to match job, screen application, and analyze application pattern. The next issue is the need to understand the company culture. This is important to candidates who must be familiar with company culture before attending an interview. The candidate cannot see and feel the company culture if the interview is conducted online. When candidates understand the company value, what organization expect from worker, and what employees they desire, they may customize the response to the interviewer question to highlight what they share. The last issue is uncomfortable or infrequently usage of technology like video calling. Unable to perform successfully due to anxiety experienced during video communication with the recruiter may lead to the requirement process being viewed as a time and resource wasting attempt. The organization may lose an excellent potential employee due to candidate uncomfortable explanation. Moreover, a candidate lack of confidence may negatively impact the recruiter image of the candidate, leading them to believe that the candidate lack the necessary skill to complete the job. That's all my opinion. And now I'm passing this on the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha, for a very solid review. Well, every challenge must have a solution. Let's listen to the next panel is Edina from HR construction industry to present the way to overcome the problem of our topic.
Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you to the moderator, Ms. Afika, for inviting me to this discussion. Firstly, I would like to introduce myself. I am Irdina from HR Construction Industry. From the issue that panel 1, Ms. Nadia, and panel 2, Ms. Natasha found, I also have found a few solutions from the issue. Referring to issue on panel 1, Ms. Nadia, about missing non-verbal cues, in my opinion, the candidate must ensure that there is non-verbal communication. During virtual requirement, they must make sure that they make the eye contact, facial expression, posture, and gesture by looking at the screen and convey themselves appropriately. They should assume that the virtual interview like face-to-face interview. Even the interview will be a virtual, candidate dress and present themselves is usually an essential non-verbal clue. For the next panel, one point about internet problem. To improve the connection quality, we must double or triple checking the signal strength and pre-checking the microphone and camera set up before beginning the interview. Also, we can arrive the platform interview 10 minutes early to avoid such incident. With this solution, we can reduce unnecessary glitches. The last solution that I found in panel 3 is about uncomfortable using technologies. In my opinion, at this new era, we must force ourselves to adapt with the new norm of recruitment. To boost our level of confidence during the video interview, we must prepare as much as we can. Putting in positive action steps to help us to achieve our goal will make us feel so much more confident. Practice breathing rhythmically and in time with our speech, maintain eye contact all the time, and remember to smile. With this strategy, we can feel better to adapt the new norm and being confident to using the technologies for the next step and for the next time. That is from my solution. I will pass back to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Edina, for the explanation related to the topic. We move on to our last panel. This one is directed to Aisha Fakiha as a HR manager from F&B industry. Do you mind introduce yourself and continue to talk about the solution?
Thank you to the moderator. I'm Nur Ashraf HR Manager from F&B industry. I would like to add another 3 ways of improving the issues in virtual recruitment. Firstly, for the strategy to improve information is security and data privacy from leaking. Companies can strengthen their cybersecurity, whether the data is stored on premises in a corporate data center or in the public cloud. We must ensure that the facilities are secure against intruders and the adequate fire suppression and climate control measures are in place. Aside from that, all software should be updated to the most recent version as soon as patches or new versions are released. The next issue is using AI in recruitment. One of strategies to improve the effectiveness of AI is we can include relevant keywords. When using AI to screen resumes, the application can only identify the keywords specified by the recruiters. AI can identify keywords in a candidate's resume using data that has been input into the system. Next is avoid AI's inherent bias. A recruiting bias can occur as a result of how recruiters gather the data as well as how recruiters interpret the data. Bias occurs when some biased assumptions are included during the AI algorithm development. Blind screening, in which some personal characteristics of candidates are concealed, is one method of eliminating bias in data interpretation during the recruitment process. Lastly, we should verify our data. As authentic resources information, quality data must be accurate, consistent, complete, valid, and trustworthy. And my last point is to improve orientation and onboarding, including to understand the company culture, can also be a strategy to understand the company culture. Almost 30% of recent workers quit at intervals during the primary 90 days on the task. New hires should receive an efficient and fascinating orientation first or 2 days on the job. Creating workers feel welcome from the beginning and testing new hire from comprehension skill between the 30 and 60 days mark to confirm they are on the correct path. One listening guarantee to relinquish your full attention and listen with sympathy to know whenever the new hire is coming back from. Continuously show respect from new hires are appreciation for what they are doing to get to understand the new hire and what they care about. Lastly, we need to always be honest and open once you act with a new hire, as this is often key to establishing the trust. Thank you. That's all from my opinion.
Thank you, Aisha, for a solid review. After listening and explanation from Edina and Aisha, may I know Nadia and Natasha agree to their solution?
Okay, I think both solution given by panel 3 and 4, Miss Idina and Miss Aisha, is acceptable, and I personally may use it in future visual recruitment. Thank you.
From me, I agree with the solution from Ms. Irdina and Ms. Aisha, and I will implement this to improve our recruitment workflow. Thank you.
Well then, we are glad from our discussion for this topic, both panel are agreed to use virtual recruiting during pandemic and even for the future intake. Thank you for coming and discussing on the topic. Hoping we can meet again someday soon for the next battle, inshallah. Thank you and have a nice day.